All the interviews I've done for Strife in the past have all been freestyle.
Oh, really?
Dan first asked me to do the one with Session. That was the first one I did.
Mm-hmm.
Those questions were all freestyle.
No way.
Yeah.
That's mad.
I'm a pretty good event MC, so that's why he was just like, yeah, you're pretty good just like doing stuff on the fly. So yeah.
What's up, everybody? It's Chaz B here, and we're back with the second edition of Let the Beer Talk. As I explained in the first video, this is a new thing that I'm trying out where I interview people while we're drinking beers, and the idea is that people are less nervous about talking in front of the camera,
or less in pain,
or in pain, sure. And like people have a better idea of what to say, so they're less scared of what they want to say. So I'm here with the homie Man of God, who's also my crewmate from Stance.
Yeah. But we're two grown men in a bed facing face to face. It's kind of awkward.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
From my experience of talking to other people that dance in other countries, like people say that it's a bad thing to join more than one crew. Mm-hmm. What would you have to say to that?
It depends, right? Because there's a difference between crew hopping and then becoming part of a family. Like, I became part of Rhythm Attack before Motion Disorderz. And even though it's a crew based out of Hong Kong, I'm the first member from the US. They're like family to me. They're a group of brothers. And my sister Simon. My sister's Simon and Ball, who, I don't know, man, like I just developed a good relationship with them over the years and been through a lot with them and just grew with them as friends first. And just through staying in communication with each other and trying to do things with each other, like it felt more like family than being put down with the crew. Like I really battle with them a whole lot, you know, but they're family to me. So it depends on how you become part of a crew, because I'm part of Motion Disorderz. I'm part of Rhythm Attack, which is Hong Kong. I'm also part of a crew called Awesome Style Connection, which is here in Chicago, started by my homie Brave Month, which is a all-style crew, predominantly made up of breakers. I'm also part of a crew called Ninja Church, which is a crew that doesn't exist. That's our moniker. And I'm also part of Stance, you know, which, you know, it's just a collective in different senses. It depends for me. As long as you're not crew hopping, ain't no big deal. You know, people, oh, you only gotta belong to one crew and blah blah blah. Like, I'm from Chicago, born and raised here, but I went to school in Madison, Wisconsin for 7 years for studying at the university. I've traveled the world and I still travel, so I make friends and connections all over. And even in the city of Chicago, I lived in one area of the city, but I would go to school in another area of the city. So I'm used to being spread apart all across, no matter where I am, whether in my city or across the world or across this country. So it's only natural for me to make connections with different people in different areas.
Sure.
So I don't think it's a bad thing to be part of more than one crew or multiple crews, just as long as it depends on your reasoning. You know, people can talk crap all they want to and say you're crew hopping, blah blah, but if you're developing genuine relationships with folks and they're like family to you, then bump what they talking about, bump that noise they talking about. It depends on what you want to do. I've done both of those kind of events where we let a big amount of folks enter and maybe we'll cap it, or we like a lower amount of folks enter. It depends on how you want to structure the event. To me, it really doesn't matter how you structure it. If you allow 300 people to enter or only 32 enter first come first serve to sign up or whatever, as long as the judging is fair and you whatever the criteria is. So if you go from 300 to 32, or you start from 32, or you start from 32 and you're doing it down to 16, I don't care what your method is, as long as it's fair. You know what I'm saying? Because each event serves a different purpose. Like in reference to that 300 number, the Silverback Open just happened.
Yeah.
Silverback Open Championships. 300 people sign for the one-on-ones. They pick 32 people. You know, I don't know fully what the process is. I will say honestly, I felt like they picked the people that were the most popular, because from what I heard, the judges had like 60 something people that they had a hard time like divvying up. So I guess, I don't know along what lines, but it seemed like they just picked the people who were on the circuit the most or had the bigger names.
Sure.
Whereas you have other jams where, okay, it's first come, first serve, first 32 to sign up, first 32 to show up to confirm, blah, blah, blah. Both of them can work out really well. It just depends on what you want to do. If you have a jam at a small community center and you only have 3 hours to do it, it makes no sense for you to let 64 people into the freaking jam. You know, it's like, okay, first come, first serve. So it depends. It depends. Like I said, it's just, as long as the judging is fair, I don't care what your format is. Or how you approach it.
Okay.
B-girls always usually want to enter the B-girl battle, which is a shame because they're limiting themselves to only one competition that comes around only here. So every so often, where they should be battling dudes in essence, because they're breakers too. They're B-girls, but they're breakers too. Breakers are, to me personally, breakers are like, aside from like actual like martial artists, right, who do physical combat, this, that, and the third. I think outside of that, I feel that breakers, those who are true to the essence of the dance and true to the culture of it and get it, we're like the last standing warriors that are left in this world. That's seriously how I look at it. With everything we throw out and how we challenge ourselves and how we delve into culture and philosophies of movement and dance and theory, whatever, a musical theory, whatever else, like, you know, like it goes deep. So to me, breakers are some of the last standing warriors in the world, you know. So I feel that women should be, you know, women, there's female warriors too, you know, like, so they should be out there challenging themselves just as much as the guys are, just against people of a certain skill level or a good skill level. That's why I really respect usually Japanese B-girls, because it's a cultural thing. Like they step up, they battle everybody. It's not, they don't wait for B-girl battles. You know what I'm saying? So, but my fault, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, so the question I was about to say, so do you think when B-girls enter a battle and they're up against, you know, other B-boys, do you think they get easy props in terms of the way that the judging works? You know, the same way as you may be a judge for a kid against an adult and, you know, you give them some easy props. Do you think it's the same for B-girls?
Generally, I think judges may do that. It's a double-edged sword, right? Because I feel a lot of times, yes, judges, in terms of judges, they do get easy props because it's a girl, right? But at the same time, too, it's the opposite end where a lot of people will discredit and devalue what ladies are doing because it's just like, oh, they don't want to give girly props to a B-girl for doing something. So they're like a little bit more on the harsh end of judging them. So there's like no middle platform.
Would you be so harsh as to judge the kid the same way as you judge the adult?
Oh yeah. If they're entering an adult battle, they need to be judged by the same criteria, you know. And to me too, I look at a lot of things like burns and other stuff like that. Like a lot of, even if an adult they do a burn, it seems incomplete or incoherent or it just doesn't make sense, I count that against them. When I see a kid who's 7 years old doing the smoke burn, I already know like they don't really know what that means. You know what I mean? Like really? Like you're really gonna do the smoke burn. To me, that's the same thing as girls throwing the cock. Makes no sense. No sense whatsoever. It's actually stupid. It's stupid. You know what I'm saying? So when little kids are throwing the smoke burn, like, wow. Like, you don't even know what that means. You shouldn't even be smoking. You're a kid. It's bad for you. You know what I mean? Like, you don't even know what the hell that means. So why are you doing that? That looks stupid. So a lot of people, when I do burns, right, there's different levels of burns. A burn, it could be itself is just looking at somebody like, boom. who are you? And people were like, oh man, like he just looked at you like you ain't nothing. That's a burn.
Yeah.
You know, that's a burn. A lot of B-boys, when they top rock, they do this and they look and they put in this motion. They don't even understand. They're just doing it because they saw somebody old school who's doing it. But it's just like, yo, competition can't see me. Like I'm an eagle. I'm the most majestic of birds in the skies in this country. Nobody can hang with me. Like, where is my competition? I'm on the summit of the mountain.
Exactly.
I don't, you know, like I'm looking at the landscape and there's nobody on my level. I have to look down at you. You're all peasants.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So people don't even understand the smaller meanings of it or how to tell a story. Because burning is storytelling. You look at and even, you know, like I said, I understood burning, but then I talked with Profo one, and then later on Rob Nasty, and just like, you know, like rockers. Because a lot of breakers try to take from rocking, like the burn.
Yeah.
And they only picked up on the most basic stuff, like the cap, boom, cap, boom. Like, dude, like, really? Like, we're battling, and I'm just like, wow. Like, really? Like, your thing just magically appeared out of the air, and you can put it in somebody's, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you, like, literally, like, where people, you unzip, pull it out, aim it, put it somewhere, you know, don't just be like, ah, to the side. Like, it's stupid. A lot of people, they just lack imagination. They just think of it as purely as an insult, whereas you're really telling the story in order to make fun of someone. So that involves character. Like, people don't understand character or character development, or being in character, like from an actor's point of view. That's how I look at burning. Like, either you're telling a story or you're portraying a character of sorts.
Yeah.
Even or a character who's telling you a story.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So people just don't understand. They understand burning as emotion, but not burning as a science. Burning is a science all in its own. I've won battles based off of burns.
Okay, let's just educate some people real quick, okay? So, this is something I heard from a few different people, right? Mm-hmm. When you give the cock to somebody, it means you want them to get on their knees and for them to suck your dick, right? Mm-hmm. If you're doing this,
are you gonna bleep that out?
Nope, I'm keeping this in, right? So, if you're in a battle with another guy and you give them the cock, do you actually want that guy to get on their knees and to suck your dick?
No.
Exactly. So why would people want to give them the cock?
Because, okay, you have to look at it in this way. It's a very emasculating gesture to say, suck my thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a man, that's disrespectful for you to say to another man. Like, and even in hip hop culture, it's very, in certain aspects, very misogynistic, right? Yeah. Think back, at least in the U.S., in the 1980s. Anybody who's old enough to remember this, like 1980s, early 90s. The worst thing that you could say to another guy along those lines was, and you know, and I quote, just for sake of conversation to say this word, suck my dick. Like, that would lead to a fight. People might get shot over that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was the worst thing you could say to somebody. So for somebody to say, blah, that's the same thing as saying, that's like just a sign of disrespect. Suck my dick. People have this, what I coined as this unicorn and rainbows view of hip hop and breaking. Whereas, yeah, you know, these gang members, they all came together and they it's time to use this dance as a way and as an art form to resolve conflict and not fight each other. It was like, dude, people were still getting shot back in the day and beat up after battles because of stuff that happened. You know, it over time, definitely it morphed more into an art form where people did express themselves in that way, and they use it as a resolve to, like, not fight per se. But it wasn't like, I don't believe it was that intentional. It wasn't, you know, sure. It wasn't your Sesame Street let's Mr. Rogers, you're my neighbor, let's all get along type thing, like everybody's saying it is.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think, a lot of these breakers back in the day were still stick-up kids, gangsters, doing drugs, from the hood, whatever this, that, and the third. Uneducated in terms of book smarts and all this other stuff like that, you know? So they came from a rough background. They were gangs. They were in gangs. They were war chiefs. Other stuff like that, you know? Yeah. So they weren't, you know, all like, let's dance to get along, everybody. Let's do it. I'm like, no, like, this is the stupidest thing I keep hearing, you know?
Okay, hold that thought. I need to go to the toilet.
Okay, yeah, make sure you pause it. Make sure you pause it.
Nah, you can talk to the camera if you want, man.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what this.
There's enough battery. There's enough memory. I don't know.
There's enough. I'm really not gonna say anything. I actually have to use the toilet after you get done.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just make sure you wash your hands. I got soap on the windowsill.
No, I took it from there. Don't worry, man.
Perfect. You know what I'm saying? That's how Ebola gets around. Mothers don't want to wash their hands. Close the door all the way. I don't want to hear your piss. Thank you. Yo. Yeah. Is your mic gonna catch that or no? Is your mic gonna catch you pissing?
Nah, man, I'm gonna keep this in.
Okay. Yo, alright, but for real, I'm drinking beer right now because I'm in pain. I don't do air chairs. And because of my job, my back has been bugging out a little bit. And I didn't warm up all the way. So I decided to joke around and do an air chair, which I never do. And I can do them. Tweak my back out. So now I'm sitting under a heating pad under the highest setting and drinking beer to relax my muscles because I have a muscle spasm in my back. So kids, stretch and warm up before you dance. Warm up and stretch, etc., etc. Because this does not feel good at all. A lot of old school breakers understand what a cipher is. It's just a circle with different people in it, building in one way or another. And when it comes to dancing, people dancing, and they would dance to all types of music back in the day. Yeah. You know, they didn't have breaks per se. They would get down to songs that had breaks in them.
The whole song.
Yeah, the whole song. You know, so there was a different energy in it because you gotta think, man. A break, your average break on a good day would last like 7 to 10 seconds.
Yeah,
7 to 10 seconds.
Okay, let's just take this back into the direction of cipher etiquette.
Cipher etiquette.
What you're saying was very valid, but you know.
Yeah, no. So I'm bringing it back, but what I'm saying is those folks had an appreciation back in the day for grooving a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Or if they were a wallflower, they would wait, and when that break came, they would go off. When that break was done, they were done.
Yeah.
Whereas you have this steady pumping, break. They don't understand how the groove and how to groove and how to interact with people, or even how to be smooth. So that's why you have a lot of breakers charging in with this super stupid bullheaded scramble footwork to try to dominate the cipher, whereas they don't understand how to enter with presence or style. So a lot of cipher etiquette has been lost just because people don't understand about partying no more. You know, you can't go to a party all day and just break. People are gonna get tired of it. Or for a lot of dudes who's trying to holler at girls, you be all sweaty or stanky, or you just be doing. Or sometimes it just be a case you're just doing too much. Women like subtlety. Women like dudes who could style out a little bit up top, do whatever, do their thing, and still be cool. You gotta think a lot of dudes back in the day, a lot of old school breakers, they was wearing like freaking Paul Bunyan raccoon caps and like pseudo fur coats, or you know what pseudo mink coats or whatever they was wearing, and all white shoes and white pants.
They were looking fresh.
They were trying to look fresh because for them their main goal wasn't breaking or to dominate the cipher. They was just trying to go out and get the girl, or also just to go and look fly doing what they do, looking dope doing what they do, looking cool doing what they do. But for a lot of breakers now, that's not the objective. They're trying to win the Cypher King.
Yeah.
So I gotta get in there. I gotta rep. I gotta do as many rounds as possible. You know what I'm saying? I seen K-Mel start a cypher on his own. Like at one point, it was just me and another dude just watching K-Mel. It was just the two of us, literally, and he was just rocking, just dancing by himself. And then at one point, I don't know when it was, but I noticed, and I just like looked around, and before we knew it, like a whole circle of us. It was just a whole circle of people watching K-Mel dance. That's a Cypher King. Someone who can start in a circle by themselves and have people crowd around.
And draw that attention.
And draw that attention. And not even draw the attention, just draw the energy. Because after I saw that, I was like, dang, that's what it's about. Like, I knew, but it really hit me and maybe just really reminded me. So it got to the point where it was just like, K-Mel didn't care if people was looking at him. He wasn't trying to impress nobody. He was going off to a song that he liked. That's all it was.
Yeah.
That's literally all it was. He was dancing to a song that he liked. And it got to a point where I did the same thing, and I noticed, like, man, I just kicked off a cypher. I felt hyped because I was like, yo, I saw K-Mel do that the day before. And I was like, man, like, I just wanted to dance to a song I liked. And I was bugging out. And then all of a sudden, one person wanted to join in because they got hyped and they wanted to throw down. And before I knew it, we formed a cypher.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what a Cypher King is. To be able to draw nothing and create something, and just off of the basis of you wanting to get down and to dance, or knowing how to enter in and out of a situation and to control it and dominate it in a manner where people respect your space and they know not to step, or if they do step, you check them and they back off. You know,
yeah.
But as opposed to scramble, footwork, Arnold Schwarzenegger, footwork, I do the scramble, how. Like, that's what it felt like. Like, yo, you're doing straight Arnold Schwarzenegger footwork right now.
Good impression of
How, yeah, get down. Yes, I get down to the breakbeat. How. That's what. That's literally what it was.
Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle. Yeah.
I mean, we've spoken about a lot of different things, and we're coming to the end. And do you have any, last words of advice or any other things you want to talk about that I haven't mentioned or asked you about?
Yeah. I'm gonna say, in the day and age we are now, where breaking is such a high platform, especially with competitions, people tend to forget, that, and this is for the people who are, more so for those who are along this track and feel discouraged that they're not winning jams or not advancing, or people don't like their style, this, that, and the third. You have to understand that originality and character go a long way. For me, like when I battle, like people have talked crap about me, even recently, about battles, and even in Chicago, people don't, in my home city, I know that people don't really, for the most part, don't care for what I do. There's younger breakers who I found out like really respect me and have been influenced by my style and what I do, but even when I was coming up, people used to diss how I break and how I do stuff. And they really devalue creativity and character. And like, I know when I battle people, like, I've been breaking going on 14 years right now. Only within the past probably like 4 years have I really started to delve into power moves. For a while I was like anti-power, anti-blow up, like dynamic moves or freezes, all that stuff like that. Because Chicago used to be so focused on that. If you dance to the music, you wouldn't get no love. And for me, culturally, as a black person, in the history of music and a lot of other things, the music was most important to me. I wanted to just dance, but I needed a way to combat the power moves and the dynamics. So I always would tell people, I'm not about going to blow up. Or I always tell people back then, but now, even having discussions with other folks like Brickheads and folks in different crews, I will tell them, my goal was not to have a blow up moves, but a blow up style. So I need to be able to match these power moves and all this other stuff that they're doing with just my dancing and with the music. So never underestimate yourselves and never devalue the importance of originality, musicality, and character. And not in that basic pseudo Zulu King biting type style that most folks are like, oh, Zulu Kings is doing this, I'm gonna bite it too. Like, a lot of them cats understand the history and have a connection with the flavor of what peoples was doing back in the day, or translating what they were doing back in the day into now. A lot of people just copied it, the steeds that they were on. But you need to be able to understand like true originality and roll with it, true musicality, and roll with it, and really delving deep and connecting deeply with the music.
You heard it. One of the most original cats in America, man. Oh God, Motion Disorderz.
I'm getting there, man.
Stuff.
I'm getting there. Shout outs to.
Do you have any shoutouts or any last words as well?
Yeah, shout outs to my crews, Rhythm Attack, Hong Kong, Motion Disorderz, US, Milwaukee, Chicago. Shout outs to Awesome Style Connection. Also Alchemy Crew, my homie Edge, you're doing big things. Shout out to Stance.
Yes, Stance.
Dan Zhu, who is the founder of Stance, formerly of Strike TV. But we went to college together. I got my degree in Chinese language. I used to hit up Dan like the day of class and ask him to get like help with my homework. Dan used to help me with my Chinese homework all the time. So we used to practice together with the UW Breakers. Shout out to Madison, Wisconsin, the Madtown Breakers, UW Breakers, at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Shout out to all the Breakers in Madison. Shout out to B-Boy Spirit in Madison, Wisconsin, one of my mentors. Shout out to Brave Monk. Shout out to Ninja Church. Shout out to my homegirl, Ella Katrina, the co-director of Breaking the Law, worldwide movement. We've been 11 years strong, taking a break. Shout out to my homie Henry Gomez, who I initially started it with as well. Posse, Chicago. There's a ton of folks I could shout out right now, man. But yeah, shout out to Renegade, my uncle Kev.
Yes, Kev,
Renegade. UK, someone who's an amazing person, very knowledgeable of this dance and just life in general, and DJing, hip hop culture. And shout out to all those folks who, even though you aren't breakers, you still support the culture, you support the dance, you're interested. Shout out to all the healers out there. Anybody who's really good at massage therapy in Chicago, please holler at me. I'm seriously, I got a heat pad under me and I'm drinking beer to stay out of pain right now. This sucks. And shout out to my homie Chaz B. All the way from Scotland. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. All the way from Scotland. Sean Connery.
Yeah.
Yes. Suck at Trebek.